Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name's Brett. When my wife handed me divorce papers right in front of her family, the same people who always thought I was never good enough for her, she had no idea I'd brought a surprise of my own. And once she opened it, let's just say the smiles in that room didn't last long. What no one expected was that I'd already made my move weeks before they made theirs. I can still remember the day I first met Angela, long before she became my wife. It wasn't planned. She showed up at my auto shop, needing a quick repair on her car. There was a rattling sound in the engine, and she later admitted that her usual mechanic wasn't available that day. That's the only reason she ended up at my shop. Funny how fate works. What started as just another routine job turned into something much bigger. After I fixed her car, we exchanged numbers. Nothing serious at first, but we stayed in touch. Over the next few months, our conversations grew more frequent. Angela was working at a mid-sized tech company, while I was running my auto shop as a small business. Somehow, I managed to win her over. I can't even explain how it happened, but she fell for me, and soon we started dating. Back then, everything felt right, one step at a time. But once marriage entered the picture, things shifted. That's when I started realizing not everyone wanted us together. From day one, her family never truly accepted me. I told myself it didn't matter. I had her love, and that was enough. Or so I thought. What I didn't see was just how deeply tied she was to her family, and how much influence they really had over her. Even with all the red flags waving in front of me, I pushed ahead. I believed our love would outweigh everything else. We got married, moved in together, and started building a life. At first, things are good. Our routine worked. But the only real tension came whenever we visited her family. Now, I never expected to be treated like royalty, but you do expect a basic level of respect when you're married to someone's daughter. Instead, every visit felt like walking into a room where everyone had already judged me. Her mother was openly cold toward me. Her father barely said a word, but his silence said everything. To them, I was just a mechanic, not the man they wanted for their daughter. They didn't have to say it outright. I could feel it. Every visit was a test, like I had to prove myself against an invisible standard. Whenever I mentioned to Angela, she'd brush it off, saying, "You don't have to like them, just tolerate them. We don't live with them." So I played along, smiled, made small talk, pretended it didn't bother me. But the truth was, Angela wasn't just close to her family. She was heavily influenced by them. As her career started taking off, I was proud at first. She worked hard, put in long hours, and her determination impressed me. When she got her first promotion, I surprised her with dinner and a bottle of her favorite wine. It felt like a win for both of us. But slowly, her job consumed her. Long hours, late-night calls, working through weekends, it all started eating away at the time we used to share. Meanwhile, I was busy with my shop. My income wasn't huge, but it was steady. It kept the bills paid, food on the table, and even left room for little extras. I never felt insecure about it. I thought of us as a team. She earned more, sure, but that didn't mean anything had to change between us. But it did. At first, it was subtle. Missed dinners, late nights, endless emails. Then it became obvious. She was investing more in her career than in our marriage. Our bedtime talks turned into silence, her eyes glued to her phone. I kept telling myself it was just a phase, but deep down, I was starting to feel like a stranger in my own home. We had been trying for a baby before all of this, so when she thought she had pregnancy symptoms, I was hopeful. We went to the doctor together, nervous but excited. The test came back negative, but that wasn't what shook me most. The doctor, with complete professionalism, explained that with the level of stress Angela was under, her body wasn't even in the right condition to conceive. Stress was shutting everything down. I thought that would be a wake-up call. On the way home, I expected her to say, "Maybe I need to slow down." But she didn't. She went right back to work calls and emails. Days passed, and she never mentioned the doctor's advice. Not once. Eventually, I asked her gently if she planned to make any changes, so we could improve our chances. Instead of understanding, she lashed out. She accused me of trying to hold her back, said I was threatened by her success. And then the words that broke me: "My parents were right about you." In that moment, I realized this wasn't just about her job or about us. Her family's voice was in her head, and now it was coming out of her mouth. I stopped bringing up kids after that. But the damage was done. The distance between us grew into a canyon. We weren't partners anymore, just two people sharing a house. Not long after, she changed completely. She became obsessed with appearances, her clothes, her image, the people she surrounded herself with. She started spending late nights out with her coworkers, even when it wasn't work-related. Our intimacy died. Conversations became shallow. She even started comparing me to other men, dropping little jabs about what I wasn't doing. I thought about leaving so many times, but a part of me kept holding on, maybe because I didn't want her family to be right about me. So I smiled in pictures, pretended everything was fine, while inside I was falling apart. Then came the night that changed everything. She fell asleep with her phone in her hand, screen still lit. I picked it up, and there it was. The messages with her coworker, not just flirty talk. They were intimate. He was telling her to leave me, telling her she deserved better. And worst of all, she agreed. She said she'd divorce me soon. I didn't wake her. I just saved everything, screenshots, proof. That was the night I stopped fighting for the marriage and started planning my exit. I documented everything after that. Every cold shoulder, every insult, every late night out. I recorded arguments, including one where she flat out refused marriage counseling, saying she had no interest in fixing things. But I still needed undeniable proof. So I hired a private investigator. Within a week, he handed me photos and videos of Angela with him. She wasn't even hiding it anymore. That was it. I had everything I needed. Screenshots, recordings, pictures, video. I called my lawyer and filed for divorce before Thanksgiving. But I didn't serve the papers right away. I waited, because Christmas was coming, and every year we spent at her parents' house, the very place I'd always been made to feel small. This year, things were going to be different. On Christmas morning, her family was laughing, opening gifts, everyone in good spirits. Angela handed me a neatly wrapped envelope with a smirk. Divorce papers. Her family burst into laughter. They thought they'd won. I looked at her and said calmly, "That's interesting. I got you something, too." I pulled out a black gift box and handed it to her. She unwrapped it, opened the lid, and froze. Inside were my own signed divorce papers, along with printed photos of her affair, screenshots of her messages, and a flash drive with videos from the investigator. The room went silent. Angela's face turned pale. I looked at every one of them and said, "Maybe I wasn't the man you wanted for her, but I was loyal." She humiliated me more than I can tolerate. Now we both got what we came for. I'll see you in court. Then I walked out. The divorce that followed was messy. Angela fought hard, tried to smear me in court, painted me as lazy, distant, unworthy. But the evidence I had spoke louder than anything she said. And here's the twist. Because she earned far more than I did, she had to pay me a settlement. Assets split down the middle, but I walked away with more than she expected. She wasn't happy. She blew up my phone with angry calls, bitter voicemails, and long texts blaming me. I never answered. Eventually, I blocked her altogether. When it was all over, I had time to face the truth. Losing my marriage hurt. You can't spend years building a life with someone and not feel broken when it ends. But despite the pain, I found peace in knowing one thing. I didn't let her or her family drag me down. They expected me to crumble. Instead, I stood my ground. I may not have been the husband her family wanted for her, but I was faithful. I stayed true. And in the end, I refused to let them humiliate me